Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk a little bit about mining in Plains of Eidolon. However, before I start talking about mining, I just quickly want to give away 3 platinum codes for each platform. And here they are, 3 codes for PC, 3 codes for Xbox One, and 3 codes for PS4. And the reason I'm doing it now is because I wanted to give these away in the previous videos, and I always forgot about it by the time I got to the end. So I want to do it now before I forget about it again. I will also leave them in a comment down below so you can just copy them over, alright? So the deeper I delve into the Quill's reputation, the more I'm starting to realize how important mining and also fishing is going to be, because the vast majority of these require a resource that you either get via mining or fishing, and a lot of them also require a refined version of that resource as well. So you're gonna have to do some mining and fishing if you want to power up your operators by building new weapons for them. And since some of these items require quite a few of these materials, you're gonna have to do it in a somewhat efficient manner, otherwise it's going to take you ages to get it done. But we are getting ahead of ourselves, so to start mining, you're gonna have to do some bounties or incursions and get 500 standing, so you can go to Old Man Simbat over here and buy the basic laser cutter. This is what will allow you to mine ore deposits in the plains. Now, this chap only really sells 3 different types of items. He sells cutters. He has 3 different variations of those that you can buy as you progress through the Siege's reputation. He sells refinement blueprints, where you take a raw gem and refine it, like this one, where you take the azurite and refine it into the tier azurite. And finally, he sells alloy blueprints, where you take a resource, add a bunch of other resources, and create an alloy out of them. And luckily, all of these are reusable, so you only have to buy them once. And the only real progression here is with the different cutters. So you can get the Focus Nozam cutter, which doesn't wiggle around as much. And finally, there is the Advanced Nozam cutter, which will highlight ore for you, but also gives you a chance to retrieve some special gems when mining. Everything else is just more refinement blueprints, more alloy blueprints until the very end, where you can buy the Plains of Eidolon Captura scene. Other than that, he can also sell you some gems for platinum if you really hate mining, though I don't think this is worth it. You can just go out into the plains and get them yourself. It's not that hard and it doesn't take that much time. And you can also trade in certain gems for standing. There is the Azurite, Devar, and Veridos for 25, 25, and 50 respectively. And then there are the more expensive gems like Crimson, Centrium, and Nith for 100, 400, and 400 respectively. This can actually be a really good way of farming reputation if you're trading in the higher tier gems like Crimson. I found a couple of spots where I got like 15 Crimson in 5 minutes, which by the way was somewhere around here if you're interested. Just go left as soon as you leave Sieges and then follow the shore until you find a cave. There is loads of it around the cave. Now, mining, just like fishing, is pretty straightforward. The way you do it is you equip the laser cutter into your gear wheel, and once you're in the plains, you will take it out by once again selecting it in your gear wheel. And once you see a mining node, you will zoom in on it by pressing the aim down sights button, whatever it may be, which will show you a white line that usually just goes around the mining node, but sometimes there are more difficult patterns to follow. And you have to remember this as best as you can, because the way you mine in Plains of Eidolon is you have to press the fire button and follow the line with the laser cutter. Sounds pretty easy, right? Not quite, because the basic laser cutter wiggles around a lot, so it will go off the line all the time. But the line also disappears when you start mining, which is why you have to remember it. You will see it for like a second once you start mining, but after that second, poof, line gone, and now you have to go by memory. And the better you are at following the line, the more resources you're going to mine. Now, I originally did mining very inefficiently. I would just run around the plains with my weapon out, and when I saw an ore deposit, I would take out the laser cutter, which you, by the way, have to put into your gear slot, and I would mine it out, put it away, take out my weapon, and run around until I saw another ore deposit, take out the laser cutter and cut it out, and I would just do this. But that is a very inefficient way of doing this, because if you do it this way, you are going to miss the vast majority of ore deposits. You can very much do it this way, but you're just not going to get a lot of ore. What you want to do if you want to be efficient is actually have the laser cutter out all the time, which is kind of annoying because you can't use your Warframe abilities, you can only use your melee weapon. Because once you equip the laser cutter via your gear wheel, it will notify you if there is ore within 30 meters of you. You can see how far away from the ore you are on the right, you can see how much ore there is within 30 meters on the left, but it also emits a beeping sound, and it will beep slower and in a lower pitch if you're looking away from the ore, and if you're looking at the ore, it will have much higher pitch and beep faster. So yeah, as I said already, it is infinitely easier to find the ore deposits if you have your laser cutter out. I was really surprised at how much ore there actually is in the plains as soon as I started doing this, because before that I would only find an ore deposit sort of every minute-ish. But once I started doing it this way, I realized that ore is absolutely everywhere, and if you just run into a big rock, chances are there is an ore deposit on it somewhere. And that, by the way, is how you want to do things. You want to equip the laser cutter and just run from one big rock to another while paying attention to the indicators the scanner provides. Also, caves are pretty good because they usually have a couple of ore deposits in them. So if you run across a cave, you definitely want to check it out. Now, I'm very happy that they decided to include this mining minigame rather than going with the generic MMO mining, right? Where you find a node, you click on it, and you go clank, 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 ta-ta! You have acquired ore. That bores me to tears. I can't do that for very long. This, I'm okay with this. I can do that for about an hour, and then I go and do something else. I do mining very differently to the way I do fishing, because with fishing, I'm just running around the plains, and I find a pond. I'm like, ooh, this is a cool spot for fishing, and I fish there for about 10 minutes and move on. When I want to do mining, I leave Cetus, equip the laser cutter, and just run around the entire plains for about an hour mining everything I see, and then I'm kind of done for the day. I don't think I can do it for more than an hour at a time, but that is more than enough to get like loads of stuff. I think I like fishing more though. I don't know why, it's just a little bit more enjoyable for me. It's just something you can do when you get bored of doing bounties or incursions or fishing for the day, or when you're waiting for the sun to go down so you can go out and hunt the Eidolon. I would not recommend grinding for the ore, right? Just do it whenever you feel like it and you're eventually gonna get all you need, because I can see it becoming pretty tedious and boring if you force yourself to do it for long periods of time. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.